Hello, everyone. I'm Joel Beard, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television.
And I'm Kim Anderson, the Director of Programs and Grants at Humanities Montana.
And we want to welcome you to what season could this be of our Missoula Live Together?
Together? I mean, yeah, you were just mentioning you've done it since the beginning of time itself.
Right.
But 4 years?
Is it 5?
Maybe 5? Is this year 5?
It could be. So Kim Anderson is a board member of MCAT as well, and she has volunteered to be on this show for many years in a row. Kim, thank you.
Because I like chatting to you and all the guests.
Yeah, and because you're charismatic, Kim. Right? She's charismatic.
That's an inside
And I'm generally jolly.
That's
generally jolly.
I am really bright on that monitor. My goodness.
Oh, yeah. Well, so, dear viewer, we do have a new set for the new season, but it may become even newer. Why don't we ask them to do a wide shot? We'll introduce Michael Flanagan is here. We're going to get to him. He's representing Missoula Friendship Force, and we're rebranding MCAT as Missoula's community media resource.
Right.
And it's Kim's idea to buy these banner things, and you're seeing one in the back. So one thing we have done over the spring and summer, since we last had contact with our dear viewers, is rebranded MCAT and sort of put a little step in our cat's logo. Our cat is on the move.
Yeah.
Our cat is looking out the window.
On chivalric heraldry things, that's isn't that rampant?
Is that
when
right?
they're standing up on their hind legs? I think it's MCAT rampant.
MCAT is rampant, people. And we want to welcome you back. We've been away for the summer.
Yes.
And we're starting at another season of Missoula Live. And traditionally, I will mention a few MCAT items that are coming up. One, Homecoming Parade is going to be live on MCAT for the 15th year in a row.
Wow.
And we're expecting, the quality to be pretty good. It's going to be better online. But this is going to be at, live coverage starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday, October 7th. And the parade's about an hour and a half, and we'll put it on video on demand. And then because that is on a Saturday, we're going to delay the start of our Saturday animation drop-in.
Oh, sure.
So this is aimed towards the kids that are 9 to 13 years of age. It's from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. There is a small $10 fee for the 4 hours of supervision and fun. If you want more information, visit that website. It's mcat.org or call us 542-6228. And that, should I mention this other MCAT thing we're going to do? I should have brought the sheet. But if people are interested in the future of University of Montana, MCAT has been asked to record these interview presentations with the 4 finalists to be the
because
future
I
president.
couldn't be at the one, it's tonight,
is that
right?
No, it's coming
It's
up.
next week, okay.
It's like September 20, and that week, I should have brought the sheet.
So if you can't go in person, you can
you can watch the
online.
live streaming on mcat.org, and it's called, Local Live. And so the candidates will be there, and of course we'll archive that, and people can watch it on demand, put their 2 cents in, I guess, too.
Yeah.
So I think that's all my immediate MCAT news. And you'd mentioned you had some Humanities Montana.
Just, it's fall. We just finished our August Film and Digital Media Grant applications, but we will be holding our board meeting in Browning this weekend, which is September, it'll be the 14th through the 16th.
Yeah.
In Browning, at the Holiday Inn in Browning. There's our website. We just finished a big humanities celebration in Miles City. So if you are seeing this broadcast for some reason, but you're in the Browning area later this week, please drop in and get to know us. We'd like to get to know you. Our next grant deadline is not until December 20th. Okay. So people have a little time, and that's for regular grants, any sort of humanities project you might have in the works, and also for research fellowships.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to reintroduce Michael Flanagan. Thank you so much for being here.
Delighted to be here.
Thanks for being patient with us.
So, what can you tell people about the Missoula Friendship Force?
Well, the Missoula Friendship Force is just one of 3 clubs in Montana. There's one in Great Falls, there's one in Kalispell, and ourselves in Missoula, Western Montana. But there are 360 clubs around the world in about 60 different countries.
Wow.
Great. My question, because I think Michael and I have interviewed before over Friendship Force, was the purpose of the organization. Isn't it to bring people of the world together and using friendship sort of as the umbrella to understand and get to know and so on?
Exactly. So it's the fact that people have a tendency to think of people as them and us.
Yeah.
And it's a way of trying to break that separation down and getting to meet people from a different culture. We got to travel to Peru and, you know, other places like actually Vietnam. We went with the Friendship Force too.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a good way to, you stay with the families for a week typically, and then, you know, you eat the food that they have, and you go to places that are in their neighborhood, things that they'd like to show off. We would tend to show off things like the bison range.
Yeah.
We're going to go down Alberton Gorge in about a week and a half. So.
Oh gosh, so it should be calmer then.
Yeah, right. So there's a group that is visiting Montana right now, or
Yes,
will be?
There's a group, and they're up in Kalispell. They came from the Isle of Wight, which is just south of England, so just off the southern coast. And so they're here in Kalispell for a week, and then we'll pick them up at Flathead Lake and bring them down, and they'll be with us for a week.
Well, how neat. And so will somebody be staying in your home?
Yes, we'll have a couple with us.
How nice.
There's a dozen altogether, and so they're, you know, people. Some people are having one guest, and some people have a couple, or you know, two people, depending on housing situations. So.
It sounds a wonderful way too to get to know another culture without having to leave home, though you can do that too, right?
Oh yeah, we're actually, our club is going to get to travel to New Zealand this year. We're going in November.
Oh,
Wow.
that's great.
Yeah.
How often do you take trips then? Is it?
You can actually take trips fairly frequently because it isn't necessary to travel with your club.
Oh.
And if your club is going to New Zealand, as ours is, you may decide that you've been there before, for whatever reason, don't wish to go that far. And so you can join up with a club from another place, typically in the United States, and head off to wherever they're going. And it might be a place that you've always wanted to go to, like Japan or like France or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea too because you got the inside track. You know, so often I've been on a few cruises with my family, and it's fine, right? But they often say, "Well, I'm going to hire a guide. I'm going to hire a guide, and we're going to, you know, tour."
Right.
And now years ago, I love Hawaii, and I've been there maybe 6 or 7 times. It's true, I don't know anyone in Hawaii, and I've always thought, wouldn't it be great to stay with a Hawaiian, to go out on a boat or, you know, not a big cruise ship. And I remember, you know, spending time in the Big Island in Hilo, and then going on a family trip where a brother-in-law had arranged for a tour. And sure, it was interesting and stuff, but there's a kind of like distance. I felt like I was seeing the town I knew pretty well from the perspective of an aquarium onlooker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems so funny and artificial to be shown these places where people were just going to eat or sit in a park. But I learned a little bit about the history, the good side. But the bad side is this kind of formality that maybe you wouldn't get when you stay with people.
Right.
You don't. You know, initially, of course, there's always a little hesitation as you get to know each other. But typically by the third day, for sure, you know, people are really getting to know each other, getting to know family members, and you know, just much more relaxed in somebody else's home, just as you might be with a good friend.
Yeah.
Right. And I imagine that people who are interested in this organization and in traveling this way and are people who are friendly and open and interested in other cultures and other
Exactly.
people.
So they are, in a sense, pre-selected by themselves.
Right.
Oh, that's
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you might have, you know, like a partner or a spouse who's shy, and the other person's taking them along for the ride.
Right.
So you get a little variety too.
Yeah.
So what's involved? Oh, here's the Facebook page. Great. If people are interested in, is it a membership organization?
Yes,
How
it
does
is.
one join?
And on the Friendship Force International website, which is out of Atlanta, that's the central point which kind of coordinates these exchanges. You can click on, I don't remember the exact steps, but there's a site that or place on that site that you can click and find out opportunities to be a member. And they will help you. They'll come down to the state that you're from and then which
town,
Sure.
which town that is closest to you that would have a club.
How many members are there here in Missoula?
There's around 42, I believe.
Wow. Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think people that live in areas, you know, like our state isn't very populated, they may really like Friendship Force because it's sort of a way of navigating and finding people that are like-minded and like travel and novelty and stuff.
What's interesting is some of the most active clubs are in big cities. And so, like, you know, I was thinking in Nebraska, Omaha has an active club, and Lincoln. You know, they have very active clubs, and so it just depends on the individual clubs and how much effort people put into, you know, keeping the club a viable, active organization.
Now, does the Missoula chapter meet regularly?
We do typically once a month, and we do different things. Potlucks are quite popular with us, but we, you know, we sometimes go out to dinner in a restaurant or some other activity. So,
is something coming up this month for the Friendship Force?
well, it has to do with this Isle of Wight that you're going to be visiting, and so that will be. We're going to be having a meeting at the Waccoma Club, which is not far from the let's see, the golf club. So Larchmont Golf Club.
Yeah.
Course, and so. It's not far from there. So if people are familiar with the area, they used to have dances there. I know this place also leases it out for weddings and other activities. So
It's just kind of on the other side of Reserve, right?
it's on this side if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the
East or west? Is it just divided
I would say
that way?
it's on the east
East side of Reserve.
Oh yeah, we would say this, I guess.
Yeah.
How funny. So the best way of getting involved with the Missoula Friendship Force is to go to the main website, like Google Friendship Force,
Yes.
and then let the website locate your state and city and town, and then people would sign up or make inquiries from there.
Yes, and I'm assuming since this is going to be broadcast on the internet, that people will have to find, you know, it's not just Missoula people, but it's going to be people from anywhere in the country.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
So they'll find their own Friendship Force.
Well, Michael, anything else you want to add, though, we didn't cover?
No, I think it's kind of a fun thing to do, and as I said, the thing is to kind of promote peace, but that idea of people are very similar.
Yes.
And even when you don't speak the language all that well, it's amazing how when people are trying to communicate, you can.
I can attest to that.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that would be my endorsement. You know, I've had some of the most enlightening and memorable experiences traveling abroad. And I remember my first trip to Brazil. I was so scared. And I had such a wonderful conversation with these two gals in a bar using nothing but the teeny English-Portuguese dictionary and how we sought out words. And it was just amazing. It really was. I'll never forget that. So
I think international experiences are an awful lot of fun, and like I say, it's the idea of trying to break down this separation that we sometimes mentally have.
Yeah.
It isn't really there.
Yeah.
It takes you out of yourself for sure.
Yep.
You know, when you go somewhere and English is not the primary language, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a whole big world out there.
it is. Well, Michael,
thank
thank you. Yeah,
Well,
thanks
thank you
for
for
taking
having
the
me.
time.
Yeah.
And We'll be right back, folks. We're next going to visit with Brad and Rebecca. They're from the Missoula County Elections Office. We're going to talk about the upcoming election season as the weather is going to cool, we swear. So
they're already prepared.
Right. We'll be right back right after you see this.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Nobody plans on getting a brain injury. When it happened to me, I didn't know where to turn.
When my son suffered a brain injury, the Brain Injury Alliance of Montana was there for us. I take comfort in knowing they will be there for him his entire life.
The Brain Injury Alliance of Montana is the only organization in the state dedicated exclusively to assisting survivors and caregivers. Visit our website to learn more about our services and how you can help.
Ranchers are the stewards of Montana's great grasslands and wetlands. Ducks Unlimited works with ranchers on conservation programs to improve cattle production and wildlife habitat. Montana is the nation's third largest waterfowl producer. Ducks Unlimited promotes working lands programs that help keep ranchers on the land while improving habitat for wildlife and Montana's outdoors people. To learn more about conservation and Ducks Unlimited, visit www.ducks.org/Montana.
Hey, how's it going over? Oh, have a good day.
Oh, we're back. So you were looking at a little PSA just there to remind you that MCAT is going to have its drop-in animation session for kids between the ages of 9 and 13 starting Saturday, October the 14th. It's from 1 to 5 p.m. and you don't have to register anything. You can just come by. It's $10. I guess if you came after 3, we'd charge you $5. So, welcoming to the studio in order from Farside, there is Jeff Badenoch, Rebecca, and Rebecca Connors. Bradley, what's your last name?
Bradley Seaman.
That's right. I'm sorry, I forgot. So they are here to talk about elections 2017. Yeah. Who wants to take it away? What is going on?
Well, I'll kick it off. We have National Voter Registration Day. It is coming up on Tuesday, September 26th. They've started this in the last 3 or 4 years nationwide, just as a reminder for officer elections or for major elections to make sure your information is up to date and that you're registered to vote. And so this is a great reminder as we're going into another election season that your information is up to date with our office, as well as being registered to vote. And we wanted to kind of break off from just the voter registration aspect and do some more educational components to National Voter Registration Day. So we're offering some workshops on that day.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about the fairgrounds.
Okay.
Jeff and I will be at the fairgrounds on Tuesday, the 26th. We have 2 workshops, one at 10 a.m. and one at 2 p.m. And we're going to go through election security, how we maintain our voter list, voter registration, how you can support our elections office. We have a lot of great content to go through during those 2 workshops.
That's really great. And the public is invited to the workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So if people are out there and they have concerns, right? So a lot of people I've seen in the news, oh, you know, elections, what about the Russian hackers? What about this? You know, and sometimes very top officials have seemingly casually said, oh, it was rigged, or it wasn't right, or this kind of thing. So if people who are watching say, you know what, I want to learn more about how are elections conducted, how secure are they, and so on, here's an opportunity to find out. Mm-hmm. On the 26th.
That's absolutely right. You know, the outcome of our elections determine so much of what happens in our communities, our state, and the nation, that it's absolutely critical that people have faith
in our processes, that we're doing things to safeguard the elections, to make sure the votes are secure, make sure that counting is accurate. And it's pretty remarkable. As a citizen, I've been able to kind of peek behind the curtain and see all the work that goes into making our elections something that voters can be proud of and competent in participating in. And part of the purpose of our workshops is to invite citizens and voters to come out and see all the processes firsthand. Here's how we make sure that your vote is going to count, and you can rely on a fair election in Missoula County.
That's really well said, Jeff. Thank you. Yeah, I think it is a super challenge for us in the 21st century. Information, right? We're bombarded with all of this information, and sometimes we feel shruggy, right? Like living in a democracy is actually hard. You know, I think about that in terms of MCAT, right? Where you think, well, we're in a democracy, so we'll have a place where anyone can speak their voice. Guess what? A lot of people are shy. They don't want to speak their voice. Like a lot of people, if they say, given the choice between being in a coffin or having to deal with the eulogy, giving it, most people would be like, I'll choose the coffin. You know, it's hard. Like I'm an extrovert, introvert, you know, an ambivert. But for a lot of people, you know, saying this is what I believe in and I'm going to go vote, it's not an easy thing to do. So that it can throw a lot of cold water on your ambition to say, well, it doesn't matter. So that can lead to, you know, indifference and so on.
One of the things, and Bradley can speak to this, is that we're trying to get our new voters plugged in as well. And Bradley is going to be at the university with university doing workshops there. So he could talk about that.
We're really going to help supplement a lot of what we're doing out at the fairgrounds. People are welcome to come to either the fairgrounds location or the university or both locations. So on the 26th at 11, noon, and 1 o'clock, we're going to have workshops there with a little bit more of a tailored focus towards the university populations. So we'll be talking a little bit about like how we process those voter registrations and how we use them to help make sure that everybody's voice gets heard, and why it's important to look at the different aspects on there. We'll talk a bit about if you maybe came from another state and you're looking about being here, some of the important mail dates that fall and hit university populations really closely, like if the university is in session for the primary election, and when we mail those ballots out, and really talking about, you know, if you've come from another state, things that you can look into to help make that educated decision about where you want to be placing and casting your vote at, so that it's the best for you. Different areas that may impact that, and other situations that come up a little bit more specific towards those university populations. But it's a really great complement towards a lot of the other things that we're doing at the fairgrounds. So we're inviting everybody to come. It'll be the Payne Native American Center, room 14. And it's open for a workshop, so you can come by at any point in time between 11 and 2. But at 11, noon, and 1, we're going to go through some guided information and really have access to computers so you can look up anything that may be from your
that's a
home
great
state.
idea for kids that are crossing the state lines and they're like, well, I'm registered in Washington or Idaho, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, and some of those implications that they may not think about, like if their voter registration switching to the state of Montana may impact a scholarship. Or may have some other residency impacts in the state that they're from. Yeah. And kind of guiding them back towards those states so that they can make sure they're making the smartest decision.
Oh, that's really nice of you. Is MCAT going to record any of these things? Did you ask us? Because we can.
We'd love for you to.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out, right? Yeah, and I want to explain to viewers that might be like, why do they keep mentioning the fairgrounds? Because the election office is at the fairgrounds, right?
Well, we move there seasonally. So about 45 days, 40 to 30 days before an election, we are out there setting up, and then we used to be divided between the courthouse and the fairgrounds, but during an election, that seems we're trying to transition to that being our central location.
Yeah, because in the other years, I know you guys have had that drop off your ballot, we're almost drive-through. Did you have drive-through out there? As well?
Voters love the drive-through ballot drop-off.
Is that right?
So it helps us, the earlier we get ballots back, it really helps us for reporting times and staying up on production. So we like it and voters like it too, so it's a win-win.
September the 26th. I'm saying it again and also wondering, that's not 40 days from the election, is it? It's really close though. I don't know what Tuesday in November is election day.
Tuesday the 7th.
Tuesday the 7th.
Okay, it's going to be November 7th this year. So it's really close.
Yeah.
That's creepy to think about, that the election is less than 2 months away now.
Yeah.
I think of 30 days after forest fire season.
Yeah, right, I know. Here we are waiting for the Thursday juncture, right? But it's going to rain. That's what I've heard. Well, there's a website people can visit. I know they've loaded the website in the back there, so maybe they'll put it on.
Yeah, and Missoula Votes Facebook, we've been really putting event details on our Missoula Votes Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
And promoting it through there.
Missoula has a pretty good track record when it comes to voting, right? I mean, we don't have to hang our heads in shame typically, and in the off season, it's always lower than when it's the 2-year cycle. Is this more like the 3rd year?
Yeah, I want to say last November, did we have close to, I think, 85% voter turnout?
Right. I think that's something to be proud of nationally, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was really phenomenal voter turnout for the last couple of elections, especially the November election, and then our special federal really had people showing up and voting a lot of ballots. And that's a big reason that they do National Voter Registration Days. It's before the close of regular registration where people have to come in person. And it's a great opportunity to say that, yeah, our voter turnout's really high on presidential years, but don't neglect those municipal elections like we're having this year, and make sure you're up to date. Come get registered, and then for us it was really a good opportunity to supplement all of the registration activities with some great education that'll go to help voters feel even more confident when they go to the polls.
And for the municipal, I wish I could say, and I don't know if you guys know, I should have researched a little. I know there are several contests for city council and the mayoral race. And then do people have to elect yet again a lone congressional representative for the state of Montana? Is that
next year?
Next year, okay, so that one's off. So there's 4 or 5 city council seats that are contested, right? Maybe one uncontested, and then there are several, or at least 2 candidates for mayor.
That's right.
So there's some reason, and often it can be argued, and I think Jeff made the point really well, that these elections that are the most local probably have the most impact on the daily lives of the citizens.
Well, I like to
if you're lucky, I guess.
I like to tell the story, the reason why it's important for people to vote in local elections. In 2005, I lost a primary election by 10 votes.
Is that right?
I know 10 people who didn't vote.
Yeah.
That said afterwards, I wish I'd have known it was that close, I would have voted for you. And
too late, friend.
But if you think about all the hard work that candidates put into to running for office, they put themselves out as a public service to their friends and neighbors. It's not that much to pay them back by voting, even if you vote against them. I mean, it's
really, you've registered, you've had an opinion.
But to lose a close election because people just couldn't be bothered to vote that's not acceptable in a democracy. We really need to do better.
Yeah. Anything you want to add before we go? The date is Tuesday, September 26th. Payne Center, University of Montana. Information at 11
noon and 1 at the university.
And then open to drop in 11 to 2.
Yep, anytime between 11 to 2, we'll sneak you in and we'll make sure that we can get you all of the information and help work directly with you on different questions that you may have. And then also at 10 and 2 out at the fairgrounds.
Right.
And, you know, really the 2 of them together really supplement each other. So if you're looking for fun things to do
Can you imagine, right? In fact, we want to know, okay, Scott says we have to move along. If you go to both of them, you should call us at MCAP 542-6228 and we'll do a profile of you, the voter. Okay, we better move along, but we'll be right back after you watch this.
Ranchers are the stewards of Montana's great grasslands and wetlands. Ducks Unlimited works with ranchers on conservation programs to improve cattle production and wildlife habitat. Montana is the nation's 3rd largest waterfowl producer. Ducks Unlimited promotes working lands programs that help keep ranchers on the land while improving habitat for wildlife and Montana's outdoors people. To learn more about conservation and Ducks Unlimited, visit www.ducks.org/Montana.
Hey, how's it going over? Oh, have a good day. Oh! Huh! I didn't see you over there. What a nice day to be out and about today. But I want to tell you something about what's going on here. Hold on a second. Let me just adjust this. Okay, there you go. Let me talk about MCAT. MCAT is doing Saturday drop-ins starting every Saturday this fall, winter, and spring season from 1 to 5 p.m. Let's go check it out. Come on. MCAT is a great way to create. All you got to do is come on down to our location at 500 North Higgins. It's as easy as that. See you there.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Elder abuse is a growing problem.
Oh, we're back. We are back with Carla Thyland. She is putting on the Montana Book Festival this year. Congratulations. Deepest, heartfelt thanks
She's
as
just
well.
sitting upright. She's
Yes.
breathing.
Yes, yes.
She's doing great.
It's
so
all
far,
coming
so far,
together.
it's all the vital signs are checking out. Yes.
That's right. And you hit one of the biggest mile markers, as I well know, which is you've published the schedule. It's out.
Yes, the schedule is out.
And it's a wonderful mechanism. I looked to see it, and it would add anything I wanted to go to my calendars, you know, so
Right.
that there it was all laid out for me.
Yeah, so you can choose which events you want to attend and use the app on your phone or use your computer and generate your own personal schedule.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
I want to make sure too that people, you know, at home, if they're not familiar with the festival, could you just give them a slide overview?
Yeah.
And you too, Kim, since you have you had
It's all
undertaken
brand
this.
new and modern and
yeah.
beautiful, so I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, what is that darn book festival anyway?
Well, what is it? Well, I think it's important to back up, and maybe Kim doesn't want to say it, but I could explain. The Montana Book Festival has been built on a strong foundation that was created by Humanities Montana starting in 2000. Humanities Montana, Kim Anderson,
Yes.
directed the book festival, the Montana Festival of the Book. And we've just kind of continued on with that tradition in a different sort of a rebranded way. We have authors coming from all over the state and the region, as well as from areas across the country, who have applied to be a part of the festival. And submissions are vetted, and then folks are then invited. We have also a variety of panelists who will be here with, you know, one of the big panels this year that's going to draw, I think, a lot of local interest is a Lifetime Achievement Award for Bill Kittredge.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's going to be a nice one, and then also some celebratory things of the Last Best Place anthology, bringing in some of the old guard for those panels, and that will be really, I think, a big draw locally. Also some kind of more innovative things. I've got a few events that include poetry and like jazz being performed live, a couple of events that include music, and we'll have, of course, the ever popular 3 years running now Pie and Whiskey event.
That seemed very popular. Yeah. I've never been, but the comments, you know, on Facebook and stuff are super positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really fun one. That brings people out in the evening for kind of a more informal and definitely entertaining evening.
Right.
So it's, you know, and we have some events that will take place in the public schools. Kier Graff will be reading from, he's a local, born and raised in Missoula.
Yeah. His dad taught at Hellgate for many years, Tom. And I just saw Keir and his wife Mariah, they were at the library a couple of weeks ago doing his matchbook castle.
Yeah.
And he's come out with an anthology, right? Montana Noir.
Yes, he's a co-editor of that anthology, right, with James Grady. And that event will also take place in the evening at the Union Club, the Saturday of the festival. And that's going to be a lot of fun as well. A lot of local authors have stories in that anthology. So, it's exciting and it's overwhelming, and it's a lot that happens at one time in the space of 5 days. But it's something that it feels like Missoulians have come to expect and rely on and anticipate.
Yeah, 17th year of it, right?
Yeah. Yes, and I mean that was the key when, and there's the website, which is a great poster this year.
I love the poster,
When Humanities Montana wanted to hand the festival over to local ownership, because we're a statewide nonprofit, and we felt that this really belonged to Missoula and needed to be run by Missoula, although we are thrilled to be able to still financially support the festival. But kind of one of the things that impresses me is that you've expanded the number of days. Give us the dates and also talk a little bit about how people support the festival. Are events free? Are they paid?
Oh, yeah. So the festival itself runs from September 27th through October 1st. So it's from a Wednesday to a Sunday. And all of those days are actually pretty jam-packed with events. Festival buttons are available for purchase. They'll be $15, and this has been for the last 2 years that while many of the events remain free to the public, some events will be denoted that a button is required for admission, and then a few of the events are ticketed separately, Pine Whiskey being one of those events.
Sounds likely, doesn't it? It has to
because
be.
there's pie and
whiskey just doesn't grow on trees, people.
That's right. So that's how the events will be. That's how it will work in that way.
And how can people get buttons? Where can they get buttons and other swag?
They can get buttons at Fact and Fiction Bookstore, also at Shakespeare and Company Bookstore as pre-sale, and then buttons will be available throughout the festival at those locations, as well as at the door of some of the other events. One event I'm thinking of in particular that people have been expressing a lot of interest in is a romance writers panel, which will take place at Montgomery Distillery.
Oh, wow, yeah.
On the Saturday afternoon of the festival, and buttons will be available at that time at the door as well, because that will be an event that requires a button for admission.
Now, are most of the events, most of the venues within walking distance downtown still?
Yes, they are. So, Kim, that's a good point, because in years past, most of the festival has taken place in the Holiday Inn, sort of a conference.
That's what you and I talked about on the phone. I think I was lamenting, like, I wanted the Holiday Inn to change the wallpaper. So we knew.
Well, they're doing it this year. That's why we can't be there. Right. Right. So due to some different construction and things going on at the Holiday Inn, we've opted to make it easier for festival goers and more pleasant all around if we spread the events out to some different locales around downtown. We've had wonderful partnership with the Dana Gallery, Fact and Fiction Bookstore. This year the Missoula Art Museum is very generously opening up their space for our events for 2 full days of programming. We'll have events at the Downtown Dance Collective, Shakespeare and Company Bookstore, E3 Convergence Gallery.
Oh, I think that's a wonderful idea too, because each one of these spaces, kind of acts as an anchor for these satellites that sometimes you don't know those people. So the E3 people will ferret their people in, and the DDC, Downtown Dance Collective, they have their people in. So, and I think it makes probably the visits more memorable too. That people say, oh, it was in the Montgomery Distillery, and give people more options of places they can drink in.
And one of the most exciting things, I think, is being downtown during the festival and seeing people with, you know, a bookmark or a bag, or they're looking at their schedule, and knowing that everyone is milling about and going to the next thing. And it's a great
I think
feeling
it is
of
too.
community.
You know, that sometimes, and I know it is a wonderful glue without which the nation would collapse, you know, things like national sports, you know, the football and everything. Or, you know, just up here, you know, it's a big Grizz game day and the whole town seems to be about that. And you gain a little strength or weakness, depending on how you view that. But the lovers of the book, the bibliophiles, they don't often see one another because by nature, right, we're off here.
We're tucked away in a corner.
Yeah, that's our thing. So for people to see one another around this banner, I think it's just a rare treat. That's all. So congratulations, that's a wonderful decision.
And one other evening event, you've got another big name coming that you didn't mention.
Oh, how did I forget? Our Pulitzer Prize winning author, Jane Smiley, will be reading on Friday night for the gala reading event, along with Donald Ray Pollock is going to also be reading with her.
Oh, great. What a lineup.
Yeah, what a lineup. And so Jane Smiley, we're just thrilled to have her, and she's also going to be doing an event the following day talking about her one of her young adult books and a recent children's book. So she's going to be hitting the spectrum of her audience here.
Oh, that's great.
And yeah, so that's a very exciting event. Yeah.
Terrific. So the whole schedule's online.
Yes, and it's very user-friendly.
MontanaBookFestival.org. Bookfestival.org.
Yep.
All right, I guess we'd better go. Do we have two guests, Scott? Carla, thank you so much for doing this.
You will live through it, believe me.
Kim has lived through it. She's hardly aged a day from doing it for 15 years.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, guys.
Oh, you're most welcome. So yeah, we'll be right back right after this.
And it's happening right here in our Montana communities. At least 1 in 10 older adults are victims of physical or emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. To get help or report elder abuse, call your local area agency on aging or Adult Protective Services at 1-844-277-9300.
I'm Attorney General Tim Fox. Nowadays, all of you have to worry about cybersecurity. Something as simple as visiting pirate websites can put your computer at risk. Hackers use pirate websites to infect your computer and steal your ID and financial information, or even take over your computer camera without you knowing it. Don't let hackers into your house. Be careful with the websites you visit and warn your kids on how to stay safe online. To learn more, visit my website.
No text, no call. Nothing is worth losing a life over. Put it down. It can wait.
Tonight, along the Texas Gulf Coast, utter devastation. Harvey barreled ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-an-hour winds, blinding sheets of rain, and a treacherous storm surge.
I don't know what that one was. Hello, we are back. We are here with Lindsay and Catherine, and they are here to talk about two items. The first one, Sunday Streets, Missoula. It's coming up. And do you want to explain what it is? A lot of people know, but you never know when they don't.
Yes, so Sunday Streets is our open street initiative, and what we do is we close down Higgins Avenue from the X's to 5th Street. We close it to cars, and then we just kind of line it with free and fun activities for people of all ages. This year we're going to have yoga on the bridge, we're going to have people dancing tango, we're going to have the skateboarders are going to set up a half pipe and do skating in the street, and then like the Zach is going to do some screen printing, so it's really just kind of something for everyone.
Yeah, it often is. You know, we've seen it with giant chess boards out there, and one year a man had come with different reclining bicycles and let people take them for a test
I
drive.
remember that. No, it's a great family event because there's stuff for kids. There's always a lot of activities for kids, right?
Yes, yeah, and we're really trying to push the fact that there is something for everyone and it's not just for kids, because I think sometimes that kind of that perception comes out there, like,
Right.
oh, it's only for little kids, but I mean, they have like
tango.
Yeah, tango. Or
Little
like
kids can't do that.
Like people get competitive doing things, so.
And there's live music.
Yeah. What time of day is it?
So it'll be from 12 to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And one of the things that we want to talk about that is new this year is we're going to have a pledge table, and what we're going to do is have people take the pledge to be one less car on the road. And so Wednesday, September 20th, just 3 days later, is going to be one less car day.
Oh.
And so really to be one less car, you can carpool, you can bike, walk, bus, really just do anything other than driving alone in your car. And so we're really just trying to emphasize the fact that it is a sustainable transportation event, and it's a health initiative. So.
Yeah, I mean, how many people need a reminder after what we've been through this summer? And I was saying to my mom only yesterday, how bad situations lead to worse. This scene, Missoula Valley is choked with smoke from forest fires. People are leaving their cars running so the air conditioning can be on. But we see it in winter too. There's a terrible inversion, and somebody's running into the store for something, so they lock the car with the engine running.
Yeah, no idling. Missoula in motion. That's very
right.
No idling. Well, I have to say, and I mean, you've lived in Missoula forever, just like I have.
Long enough to be killed by it.
Right. I mean, the accessibility, the ability to get around Missoula without a car has changed so dramatically in our lifetimes. It's so easy, and if people haven't tried it, this is a good motivation to get out there and try it, because you'll be amazed. You can get anywhere. You can get anywhere.
We don't want to scold people either. That never works. You know what I mean? Like if somebody is nervous about not being in their car alone, and some people are. They're like, I don't want to talk to those people. I don't want to carpool. I don't know anybody. I'm not getting on a bike. I'll be killed. So, I mean, in a way, you know what I mean? Whenever this comes up, I always think, don't scold people about it. It's just like we have to change. We know we have to change.
And this makes it fun to try
Yeah,
it
that's
once.
the idea too, right?
So now there's a new phrase that you're introducing this year, walk and roll, right?
We introduced it last year.
Oh, okay.
So
I forgot.
I'll hold
2
up the
years
poster.
strong, yes, but it used to be Bike Walk Bus Week.
Right. And walk and roll, is it a week long?
It is, yeah. So Sunday Streets is the kickoff, and so it starts on Sunday, and it goes through the following Saturday, the 23rd, and there's deals and discounts all week long for anyone who commutes or travels sustainably to different local businesses. And then it wraps up on Saturday with a bunch of events, and we're doing our 3rd annual Bike-a-Palooza, which is a big community bike ride. And that will leave from Free Cycles on Saturday. So we're hoping a lot of people come out for that. And Free Cycles will have a lot of other things going on that day. They're hosting their annual Festival of the Cycles in coordination with Walk and Roll.
Yeah.
So they're going to have a lot of different organizations come out and do a lot of bike education, bike maintenance, stuff like that.
But every day next week there's something fun going on. My God, there's a Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. And you are rewarded if you are a biker or a walker or a bus taker, right?
Yes, or carpool and vanpool.
Yeah, see.
So we tried to be a little more exclusive with the new, or inclusive with the new name as well.
Right.
That's really
Muffin
great.
Monday, Taco Tuesday.
One Less Car Wednesday, which we've emphasized. Thirsty Thursday includes like all of these places, from Clyde Coffee to Kettle House, Montana Distillery. So they'll be offering incentives of the drinking. This is clever, you guys. This is
Very
pretty
clever.
good.
And Fruity Friday.
Right.
Yep. And one thing to note for One Less Car Wednesday is we are doing a breakfast blitz for commuters. So there will be 10 different free breakfast stations all around town.
Wow.
So we'll have those all posted on our website. So if you can bike or take the bus or walk by one of those, we'll have free coffee and treats from donated by different local businesses as well. So
And the place to go on the web is Missoula in Motion.
Yes.
Because there's so much stuff going on too.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's another website too, walkandrollmissoula.com.
Yeah, and you can get to that from Missoula in Motion as well. But yeah, if you want direct to Walk and Roll stuff,
Yes.
Either way, I'll get you there.
Yeah,
and it kicks off this Saturday, September
Sunday.
17th, or Sunday, September 17th.
12 to 4.
Excellent.
With Sunday Streets.
That'll
That's
be
really
fun.
clever.
I just got
we
the
gotta
10-minute buzz on my
Uh-oh.
wrist.
All right, I'm sorry. We're always so slow in the beginning, and then we're like, oh, now how many more?
Yes.
It's terrible.
Well, good luck this year.
Yeah,
it's always
thank you
fun
for coming
to
on
see
the
people.
show.
Everyone's in a good mood. Everyone's biking and waving.
Yeah, and I think
So-
the weather's taking a turn, right? We
I
all
know.
believe it's going to
Fingers
rain on
crossed.
Thursday. So
Yes, it should be good.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
All right, you guys, we'll be right back. We have one more guest, and that's Liz Moore for the Montana Nonprofit Association is having their conference in Missoula at the end of the month. So we'll be right back and tell you about it.
Harvey can't mess with Texas. So donate now to help make Texas whole again.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
No, they're striking a match. Oh, we're back.
Now we're ready.
We are back, people, with Liz Moore. She is representing the Montana Nonprofit Association specifically because their annual conference is coming and it's going to be in Missoula at the end of the month. Welcome. Thanks for putting it on.
Yes, thank you. We're excited about it. It's going to be a hot conference this year. We were just talking about the pre-conference.
Yeah.
We have Patricia Hughes, who's the co-author of Gracious Space, coming in for that, and Laura Rhodes is doing a full day on grant writing. Patricia's is 2 days,
Yes.
which we've never done, so 25th and 26th. And then we have Power Up, which is a tech day, kind of starting to think about organizations with a digital strategy, not just a strategic plan, but also a digital plan. And we have a leadership pre-conference on communicating and how communication can kind of get in the way of leadership or facilitate leadership.
Liz, can you just take one step back and explain a little bit about what the organization is?
Sure.
And do you just have to be a member to take part in this conference? What's the purpose of the conference?
Oh, sure. Yeah, from the big perspective, we're about 16 years old. We have almost 700 members. Most of them are charitable nonprofits, a good number from Missoula. And we're the association for nonprofits, similar maybe to the chamber for business.
Except
And
you're statewide, right?
We are statewide, yeah.
And
so similar
based
to the
in
state
Helena.
chamber, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're based in Helena, but we work across the state. We have a very strong commitment to rural Montana, eastern Montana, and serving nonprofits of all sizes. And so you see that with our conference, that there are sessions geared toward more seasoned leaders, and then sessions for folks who are just starting out, and then board sessions as well. So we do an annual conference every year, and it's education is a huge part of it, but also being a part of the nonprofit community and networking. People come away from it very much sustained in their work because they kind of can lift their head up and see, oh, there are other people out there who understand the role I play and are doing similar work. So we're excited. It's going to be a barn burner this year.
It's absolutely motivating, I think. I mean, because it's true. Many of us who work in the nonprofit world kind of feel like we talk a different language than most of our friends and the world at large, you know, and our concerns are a little different. And yet it's a huge industry in the state.
It
in
is.
Any state.
It is. The nonprofit sector employs about 53,000 people in Montana, so a little over 11% of the workforce.
Wow.
Yeah, that's significant. And I think right now, especially, nonprofits really are, we are the champions of civil society. And so it's important that we be tooled up and able to do our work, whatever that mission is. You know, we really, as a group, we reflect the will of the people. And we wouldn't want it to look all one way. And so there's a huge amount of diversity, a huge amount of mission scope across the nonprofit community. And our role isn't really to choose one mission over another, it's to forward the sector as a whole and to be supportive in the ways we can be to individual nonprofits and helping them achieve their mission. And that means we're supporting not only staff but board members. You know, the boards. Yeah, the boards are really the heart of the nonprofit sector, and an organization cannot grow stronger than its board. Really, it becomes really difficult. And so we have a board track and a special board rate, by the way. And I do want to mention before I forget that tomorrow is the cutoff for the early bird. So,
and thank you for reminding me.
I've
got to get online.
Yeah, that matters.
Sure. Did those guys put up the website so that people watching would be able to connect to it?
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, Neil, could you put it up, the website?
And what is the address, Liz, for the website?
mtnonprofit.org.
And there we go, mtnonprofit.org.
Yeah.
And so anyone, my question
and
again.
you don't have to be a member.
You don't have to be a member.
But you do, it may be worth joining. It's quite a bit less expensive if you're a member. So for a lot of organizations, it's worth joining. And
if you're a nonprofit and you haven't joined MNA, you should.
You should. We are really the voice of the nonprofit industry in the state, and membership matters. If you have 700 of anything in Montana, you kind of get attention.
Yeah.
And that's a huge role for us. I mean, on the policy front and helping the general public be aware of the role nonprofits play. And from our perspective, a strong nonprofit sector is essential to Montana and to the quality of life, the future we want for our kids, all of that. So we're pouring everything we've got into promoting the strength of the sector.
Absolutely. Now, really quick before we run out of time, the dates and where is it?
Sure. Missoula Hilton Garden Inn. And most of the conference is September 26th, 7th, and 8th. The pre-conference is the 26th, then the main conference the 27th and 28th. Then one of the pre-conference sessions starts on Monday. I do want to mention, too, we have Dan Rockwell, who is a leadership expert who writes a blog called Leadership Freak. He's our opening keynote. Patricia Hughes, Gracious Space, will be our middle plenary, and then Vu Lei, who is, if you're familiar with the blog Nonprofits with Balls, he's our closer. And so we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, these are nationally recognized leaders in the field, so it is going to be a great deal.
Sounds well worth it, particularly for our viewing audience, which is just right here in Missoula.
Nonprofit Central here.
It's an extraordinary opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 minutes. Anything you want to add?
Sure. We have really the top nonprofit talent in the state doing something like 35 plenary sessions.
Wow.
And so whether it's financial management or risk management or governance, fund development, communication, all of that, and technology, of course, we've got all of that covered. We also have a couple of fun things going. We're going to have a little bit of live music. We've got 2 conference receptions. One will be at the Missoula Children's Theater. That'll be our main reception, and then our vendor reception. We'll have, I think, close to 40 vendors there, all who are vying for nonprofit business. And so that's a lot of fun because they have giveaways usually and things like that. Plus
candy. They usually have candy.
They do. Plus it allows nonprofits to learn kind of what's out there to facilitate their work.
Right, right. Yeah. All right. Well, I think.
Oh, I guess we gotta go. But Liz, thank you. Thanks for waiting and coming on our show and telling people about it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to have it here in Missoula this year.
Yeah, and it'll be good to see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it was very nice to not see you, dear viewers, but know that you may be out there in this, what we think is our 5th season.
We think so, and
of
we
this
didn't
show.
forget everything over the summer.
No, we didn't.
Our
There's some
timing is
learning
still a little
loss.
off. Our timing is still a
something.
little off.
But we'll be happy to see you 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
For the new set of guests on another edition of Missoula Live. So for now, I'm Joel Baird.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
We'll see you next time.